I first discovered burlesque 6 years ago. One of my friends was performing for a local club and she invited me along to see the show, and I'd heard of it but I didn't really know what it was at that point, and I was just blown away by it. It was kind of the merging of theatre and dance and all these other sort of creative aspects. And I was studying theatre at the time, so I just started to look into it a bit more and thought this might be something I could do. I don't overly follow kind of general fashion day to day, as you can probably see from the way I'm dressed. I just sort of do my own thing. But it really depends on what I'm doing and where I'm going. I do take a lot of inspiration from the 80s, the kind of back-combed hair, skinny jeans, leather, that sort of thing. Well, I've got one act that I do called Movie Star Dreaming, and the premise behind that is basically the girl working in the movie theatre as the popcorn seller with dreams and aspirations to become a Hollywood star. So the corset for that is designed from fabric that has sort of popcorn boxes and Coca-Cola cups and kind of movie things in. So I've tried to take the main theme of the piece and actually directly make it part of the costume. One of the ones I'm better known for is my Scottish act, in which I am just basically the bonny Scots lass dressed in tartan, and I come out and I recite a Scottish poem contemplating what gentlemen have under their kilts, and then kind of asking what does a lassie have beneath her kilt, and then do a proper Scottish striptease to Highland dance music to that. So that's very kind of cute cheesecake character. And then another one of my favourite acts is my Cinderella act, Cinderella with an S though, which was inspired by one of my favourite pieces of music, and I just wanted to do something a bit kind of rock and roll, sleaze, a bit different, incorporating fairy story and rock music. It came about as a result of a sort of joking conversation with somebody one night about the fact that I did very sort of cute, pretty burlesque on stage, and then I would come off stage and basically change into this rock persona, and somebody said, wouldn't it be great if you could do that in an act? And we sort of went, oh. So I love that piece for that, I think, because it's really a piece of me, I suppose, that I've put into that. Not long after starting burlesque, I realised that it was going to be a really expensive hobby, and I couldn't afford to buy all the costumes and bits and pieces that I might need. So the first thing I did was figure out how to make nipple tassels, and just started doing that for myself. And then a few people asked me to do them, and then the accessory design part of the business kind of grew out of that over the next year or so, and then I decided to actually set it up as a proper business and start making things for other people. I've done an assortment of very unusual nipple tassels, from ice cream cones made out of Swarovski crystals to three-dimensional flowers. I've also made a crystal eye patch for a gentleman, and a fully Swarovski'd crystal set of trainers for somebody else. So yeah, lots of weird things. The custom work, I suppose, takes a lot longer because I'm starting from scratch with an idea that somebody's given me and trying to basically create what they have in mind. Whereas the freelance, it's easier to sort of, I basically get a bulk order, and I sit and I make things in groups rather than concentrating on one specific piece. So I kind of like the balance between the two, doing a bit of each. It keeps it interesting. At the moment I'm online mostly on Facebook, and most of my sales are people contacting me directly for custom work or via the boutique that I stock in the West End, and sometimes at events. But I think I could be reaching a wider market basically from the website, which would probably be more of the kind of bulk stuff, and I've got a few set designs which I'll have up there and people can basically order, as well as having the option for commission stuff. So just broadening my market basically.